Welcome to the Happiness Safari podcast, your podcast for a happier and more meaningful life. My name's Nadine. I'm so grateful you found this podcast and you're listening. I'm on a mission to make this world a happier place by sharing stories of people finding their happiness in life. Today I speak to Julie, my former colleague from London. She's one of the youngest entrepreneurs I know. Originally from France, she studied in Malaysia and now is living in the UK. Julie is a marketeer, sustainability advocate, a textile dyer, and the co-founder of Inseparable. Inseparable was founded by Julie and her mom to encourage slow fashion by creating made-to-order jewellery and naturally dyed creations. Their mission is to create a better and more transparent option. From the episode, you will learn why having a routine is important, why we are most happy when we allocate time to ourselves, how we can enjoy the process instead of worrying about the outcome. Julie also shares a lot of tips how you can bring more happiness and joy into your life, even if you work in a corporate job plus having your own business on the side. I really hope this interview will inspire you. Enjoy listening. Hi Julie, welcome. Welcome to the show. So happy to have you.
Thank you. Hi Nadine, I'm so pleased and honored to be here today with you.
How are you today?
Good. It's sunny in London. Well, I'm actually not in London anymore. I'm in southeast England and it's so sunny and you can feel the transition to autumn, and it's this a period that I really enjoy. The crisp, the cold that is coming back. It is a feeling,
Yeah, definitely.
Transition.
Yeah, no, that is a nice time. I remember those days in London when the weather is actually nice and super beautiful, or England. Nice. First of all, I would like to ask you, so the listeners get to know you a little bit better. Who is Julie? Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Cool. So my name is Julie. I'm originally from France. I was living split between two places, between the southeast of France and the northeast, close to Germany. And I have been living in London for the past 6 years and to the countryside of England, in southeast England, which I really, really enjoy. I work in the affiliate marketing industry, where I actually met you, and I'm kind of having as well some side business, which is all about natural dye and handmade jewelry, which I'm doing with my mom. So it is very, very exciting.
Yeah, and I think that's such a cool project as well. So I will definitely share that in the show notes so people can look that up. And I think that's also so cool that you do that actually with your mom together. I'm like a little bit jealous. I would like to have a project with my mom as well.
Yeah, it didn't take that long to convince her. But yeah, that was a passion that she was doing, and I was just pushing her a little bit to create it for real. So I'm really happy that we got on this journey, and I hope that it's going to be a beautiful journey.
Definitely, I'm sure. We talked a little bit before, but now you have to share with our listeners. So the first question would be, what does happiness mean to you?
It's a broad word, happiness, and I think it means different things to different people. For me, my happiness is very much into what I'm doing, my hobbies, taking some time for myself. But over the years, I've kind of relearned the word happiness. Like happiness, I feel like the first thing you need to think about when you think about happiness is first, it is something that comes from you and no one else. And I think that's something that I not recently learned, but kind of practice as well, because we tend to think that other people will make us happy, or a hobby will make us happy. So something else, like something external, will make ourselves happy. And I recently kind of discovered that it is in my hand to make that happiness and that happiness happen. And I think, about 2 years ago, I think when we met, I started really much this journey about learning more about myself, understanding why I was having all these thoughts. So all this process of this healing process, this healing journey.
Wow.
And we discussed it many times together, and we are pretty much, on the same page with that. But it's all about learning yourself and discovering who you are. And I think that's the most beautiful thing to make yourself happy is understanding who you are, what defines you, and what makes you vibrate in the world. What do you do that makes you vibrate? So, for example, it's traveling for me, creating, meeting people. I think, meeting others has always been a big part of my growth. Especially when you travel and you meet other cultures and meet new people. So that really excites me. But it's all about as well understanding who you are. And sometimes we get defined by, our thoughts, our perceptions. And it can be really daunting, having those negative thoughts, the voice that we hear in our head. It makes us feel like this is who we are. It is not. So I think I have discovered that as well, like by doing a lot of journaling, meditation, yoga. So just trying to discover who I was really. And I would say as well that, happiness can be found, not through someone, but if you feel like you're struggling to find your happiness, you can always seek help. Don't be shy, to go to someone else, like a coach or a therapist, which I have been doing for the past year. And I've learned so much about myself and why I was having those thoughts, and going back to my past, and understanding, very much who I was. I think I repeat that quite a lot, but it's so important to understand who you are, to move forward and be happy with yourself.
Yeah. Wow, thank you for sharing. So you're basically saying that, you shifted the focus from the outside world and things they would make you happy, and also kind of having the expectancy of other people to make you happy, to inwards, and basically looking at yourself, learning yourself, to get to know yourself better, and also working on yourself basically with your therapist to kind of understand yourself and your thoughts better, to then actually make yourself happy. And so it is really very much an internal job, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, I think. It is very much like, I mean, for some people it can be spiritual, and this spirituality can be translated in different ways, meditation, yoga, or religious belief, but it is very much about going back to yourself and understanding who you are.
Yeah, nice. So now you already kind of answered the second question a little bit. Like, what are the things that make you happy? So you mentioned traveling, and you also said you do yoga, meditation, journaling. But is there something else you do, like a routine or special things they make you happy, or they changing also maybe when you're like in an unhappy state? Because I think also, I mean, happiness goes, like with sadness. So sometimes, like, I mean, life is not always good, and we can't be always happy, and we can experience happiness maybe just when we are also experience the other side. So do you have any tools you use when you're actually now maybe sometimes feeling low, to get yourself back into a more positive state?
That's a very good question. I think becoming more aware of this kind of routine to implement, because before I used to just get up and get ready for work, etc. And I think during the pandemic I've been very implementing kind of a new routine to set myself up and to be because the pandemic was quite challenging for many of us, and being in the same place, working in the same place. I was working from home, so obviously it can be difficult. So I think implementing a morning routine, for example, was something that made me sane, that kept me sane, that really helped me to go through difficult moments. So for example, I will wake up, have a glass of water, and then have my little meditation. I will dedicate some time, like 15 minutes, to journal, to just understand like what was going through in my brain, and then getting ready for work. But I think having that meditation and journaling time really prepped me for the day, and I felt like I could do anything, and I was pretty productive and not thinking about negative thought or what was going on in my mind, because I actually put it on paper before. So I think that the routine is quite important, and I realize when I don't do it, I'm not feeling as good, or as I feel like something is a weight, that I need to express it somehow. So it can be yoga, it can be anything, it can be dancing in your living room in the morning. For me, just journaling works best. But I think having a routine is important. The second one would be having a daily self-care. So we have, very busy days where sometimes it's hard to find time for yourself. But we can always find those kind of 10 or 20 minutes for ourselves, and it doesn't have to be a bath with candles. It can be just, a walk in nature. For me, like it works perfectly, just being with myself in nature and not thinking about anything, but looking at what surrounds me. It can be just not touching a phone, so avoiding social media for an amount of time. It can be just hugging someone, one of your close friends, your boyfriend, your family, so anyone. And it's just all about this kind of time that you allocate for yourself. And it's about accepting as well that you can be on your own and you need that time for yourself every day, rather than just thinking, oh, it's fine, I'll do it later, or oh, I can do it at the end of the week. It's not a problem. I think when we tend to allocate time for ourselves, this is when we are most happy.
Yeah, definitely. So you're basically saying with the journaling, for example, that you are kind of clearing your thoughts in the morning. So you said when you wrote them down, then they don't disturb you as much maybe during the day. But you're also kind of visualizing like what you want to kind of achieve that day, or in general, or how do you actually journal? Do you have a journal you bought, or are you answering your own questions, or you're just writing down your thoughts?
Yeah, it really depends what's on my mind. There are some mornings where I will just, we call it unconscious writing. So I'll just wake up and just write anything that comes to my mind. So it can be a dream that I had, or just anything that I feel is bothering me at the moment, or something happy as well. It doesn't have to be negative. It can be anything really, like you're thinking about your grandmother and the amazing cake that she used to bake, then you just write about it. So sometimes I just do unconscious writing, where I just wake up and write straight away. And sometime where I feel like probably a week I'm struggling with the sense of trust, or I'm struggling with being unproductive, I feel procrastinating, then I will find some journaling prompt. You can find them online, you can find them with your coach or therapist, and I just answer some question related to that. So then I can work on why am I having those trust issues, or why I'm feeling unproductive. So it depends if you feel like you have a specific topic that you're struggling with, and then you can seek for help as well. But there are so many resources online or on Instagram, but I'd say with a coach or a therapist, they always kind of give you those kind of guidance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also, I mean, when I work, with clients, it's mostly, I mean, that I made the experience that everybody has their answers already kind of inside. So we're trying to kind of guide people to get, where they want, or to discover actually what they want or what makes them happy. And I think, I mean, like Instagram and all that, they are like great tools for inspiration, but the wisdom is coming from elsewhere, where like actually the true wisdom kind of feel like lies inside. And I think that's also great about journaling, because you actually, like, it's such a creative process that you're actually getting this out, and you're allowing that to come out, whatever it is which comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so perfectly said. And I mean, I'm talking about writing, but for some people it might be drawing, which I've seen, on Instagram. It's just I'm not a really good painter or drawer, but I think it can be in many ways, and in many forms that you like. And probably something I'd just add there is as well to accept, because we were talking about happiness and what the type of things that makes me feel good when I'm no. And I think it's just acceptance. So really accepting that sometimes we're not happy, and we don't have to be happy. Like we wake up, we feel a bit low because probably the weather is a little bit dull, or something happened. But it's just, we have to accept that we are human beings. We're not perfect. We don't have to be happy every day or productive, or always on our best self. So it's just about accepting. And I think that was something I really struggle with, to accept the thoughts I was having. And it's just about telling yourself, well, my brain is telling me this, I accept it, but I don't have to I don't have to let it define me. I can just choose whatever my brain is telling me at the moment. But it's just a little bit about accepting what's going on. We don't have to be always the best.
Yeah. So you would say that's also a key to happiness, basically, kind of
For
accept.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Because we are in a society where, especially with social media, we tend to compare ourselves, or to see that people are achieving their best goals, their best things. So it's always about achieving more and more and more. But actually, it takes time, and for a lot of people it takes so many time, but obviously we don't see the background of it. And I think it's just, acceptance is such a powerful word, and it's such a powerful practice when you actually do it. And I do it with my meditation or with the journaling, because you just have to accept that's exactly where you need to be. I think that's something in yoga that we say quite a lot, and in meditation as well. Like, that's exactly where you need to be, and you just have to accept that it is where you are now. You have to accept that things that happen in the past happen as well. And everything that we are going through is just an accepting journey for me. So yeah.
Wow, that's also quite inspiring. Like, exactly where you need to be, and just follow that. Because I remember when I actually met you, so I think it was actually 3.5 years ago, or like 2018, definitely. And then I found you like very inspiring, because I thought you were probably like the youngest kind of entrepreneur I knew, and I found it so cool that you had your like project. And then when I get to know you better and talk to you more, and then I realized, I mean, how hard you've been on yourself, and that you were like, when you lived in Malaysia, right? That like everybody had their own business when they were like 20. And,
Yeah.
I guess, that was probably the time where you were still kind of like comparing, or what you said, like trying to, like be something or somebody, like for others, and not really looking after yourself. And I think you've done such an amazing kind of transition or transformation, to actually like doing what you love and bringing that out into the world, but looking after yourself now and actually enjoying the process, and
Yeah.
not doing it for the outcome, but for the journey more.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you so much. I think thank you for your encouraging words. It's so great when someone actually see your growth, and can witness it. So yeah, and I think you're totally right in saying that when I did my project, my business, it was all about the outcome. So I was only seeing where I wanted to be, but I was not enjoying the process of it. So as I was doing it, obviously the first year is a challenge because you're building your business, you're launching everything. And then as you go on, you can see that, you have clients, you're meeting new people, etc. It's a brilliant journey, but I was not enjoying the small bits of it. So I wanted always more, comparing myself and my business on social media, and that was definitely not healthy. As you know, I ended up with a little burnout, and which really made me think about, okay, what's going on here, and I need to take care of myself. And this is when I started my yoga and meditation journey, and my healing journey, really, and understanding myself. And if I'm now I'm having another business, but there is a different view, a different perspective that I'm having with this business. Is very much about enjoying the moment, the process of everything. And I don't know where I want to be. I don't know where I'm going, really. It's just doing it step by step. And I think that's what we tend to forget when we start something. It can be anything, a sport, a project, whatever you're starting. It's just all about the journey that you're on. Yeah.
It's actually interesting because I read like a quote, like a Chinese saying today, as actually the man who moved the mountain was also the same man who started picking up little stones and moving them from one side to the other.
Oh, that's such a cool quote.
Right.
I love it. Yeah.
And then I thought, and that's just what you're saying, like kind of enjoy the journey. And it's about, what you're doing every day and like the little things. And that's like building something. And at the end, you could like move a mountain, but it's not your like intention is not moving the mountain right now, but you're just doing it step by step or stone by stone, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Such a nice one.
Oh, very good. So, okay, that gets us to, my favorite question, basically. It's, I know, hard to answer, but what was the happiest moment in your life? You have one.
It is a difficult one, Nadine. Happiest moments. I would say, well, first, when I decided to continue my study in Malaysia. So that was something I truly wanted, to study abroad. But I think I never expected what was the outcome. So yeah, my happiest moment will be, learning, discovering a new country, learning about their many cultures, and getting to meet people, and I think that makes me very happy to be out there, learning new languages, and being with other people that I never met before, and discovering islands, countries I never thought I would have gone to.
Yeah.
So I think, my happiest moment would be, there. Definitely, it has changed my life.
So basically, like the experience was like a moment you were there, and then you thought, "Oh my God, I actually achieved it, or achieved something I maybe where you like didn't believe you could do, but then you were there and you did it, and you were like traveling around and thinking to yourself, oh my God, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think meeting like when you are in an environment that is very new to you, I think this is where you grow as well so much. And I think there I discovered who I was, obviously, before I was back home living with my parents, and suddenly I'm in a new country. I don't know anything. The culture is very different, but very similar in a way as well. So I think I learned so much about myself, about being independent, responsible, but also being with others, and discovering others. And I think that's something as well, that probably changed my perspective on life. It's always turn yourself to others rather than with yourself. Always try to experience things with other people, because this is where you grow, and you learn so much about yourself. So I think that is why I felt that this experience made me someone different or someone grown.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And then I guess I have just one more question. Do you have any book you read on your journey, which, I don't know, changed your life, or you would like to recommend to our listeners?
Definitely. I have one in mind, which is called The Power of Now by Edward Tolle.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing book. I was very much living in the future, as you can tell throughout this interview, with my project and everything. And just a good reminder of what is it now, what you can do today. And the process of this journey, rather than thinking either living in the past or rather in the future. So I think that was eye-opening for me. And another author that I really like to follow is Brenna Brown.
Okay.
She wrote many books about vulnerability, courage, and I think many of us can see ourselves in all the scenarios that she is writing about. So I'll definitely recommend her. You can find her on TED Talks, but also she has books. She's very, very good.
Nice. Very good. So we'll put that definitely in the show notes. And then I thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's like my pleasure, and so nice to see you as well. So for all the ones who are just listening, this is on YouTube. So if you want to see Julie's happy smile, you can watch it as well. And I wish you all the best on your amazing journey. And
thank you so much, Nadine, for having me. It was an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Happiness Safari podcast. I have some exciting news for you. On the 1st of January, we are starting our 30-day happiness challenge. You will receive every day a short task which will help you to reflect, grow, learn, reach your goals, and live a happier life. Please don't miss it and start your year in the most happy and positive way. All you have to do is to follow me on Instagram at Nadine Anne Yoga and follow the instructions there. Also in March, I'm hosting a yoga and coaching retreat in Diani Beach, Kenya, one of the most beautiful places in the world where you can relax, unwind, detox, practice yoga, meditation, and get some coaching input from me as well. It will be a week full of transformation. There are still a couple of places left. For more information, visit my website happiness-safari.com. If you enjoy listening to this podcast, please go to iTunes and leave me a 5-star rating and a review. That would make me truly happy. For more information about me, the podcast, the retreat, how to connect with me on social media, or to find out more about one-on-one coaching, I will put all the links in the show notes for you. Don't forget, happiness is the only thing which doubles when you share it, so please share the podcast with your friends and help me to make the world a happier place. Be you, be free, be happy. Talk to you soon.